I'm sitting here journaling at this park nearby my house and just a little bit sad. Like, I'm not gonna go into detail, but I just feel like on this healing journey, there's a lot of wounds and things to expose, and um, that's what I want to encourage on here is healing and really getting deep, um, to allow the Lord to redefine who you are as a person, not your childhood, not your family members, your parents, anyone to define you. Really, the way God intended you to be when He says, you know, like in your mother's womb, I knew you. And there's a story in the Bible, Naaman. Naaman needed to be restored. I believe it's in First or Second Kings. And he said, restore me to my youth, restore me to my youth. And he had him dip in the Jordan 7 times. And he didn't want to do that at first because he thought that the prophet Elijah was just going to come to him and he was going to, call fire down and whatever. But that was the instruction the prophet gave his administrator to tell him go dip in the Jordan 7 times. And so when I first heard that story at a sermon at my church, I was just like, well, not my church, sorry, a church that I was attending. It really spoke to me because I'm like, Lord, I've been asking for healing, like you said, and John at the guy at the pool of Bethesda. Do you want to be made well? Meaning, do you want to even be healed? And I think a lot of the times we are just trying to cast things out that actually need to be processed properly in the mind and renewing our mind, like it says in Romans 12:2. So what I was just doing, I'm about to go pick up the kids from school, but this was really like, man, it's like I'm talking about rejection and abandonment, and I'm talking about fear, and I'm talking about betrayal, and I'm writing down memories and getting to the core, like I talked about in my last healing video. Like, even when I came out here by myself, I'm like, why am I sensing fear? Like, the Lord is here. He's my protector. So I started and I said, Lord, please help me with any fear that I have that I'm here by myself. Because I come to this park all the time with my son. And I'm just like, why am I having fear when I'm by myself? So there's something there that I want to pray about and uncover. But I just wanted to share that with, don't be afraid to go deeper and uproot some of those wounds. It hasn't been easy for me at all. And that's why I'm so passionate about not everything being a demon, because there can be unclean spirits, but the real crux of continuing to walk and finding your identity is healing the mind, the patterns of the mind. What have you been telling yourself? What lies have you been walking in? And you can't just simply come out of do a ritual, come out of agreement with it. Okay, now I'm done. Like, we can't just microwave that process. We really need to allow the Holy Spirit to lead us into true freedom, which I am believing for. But like, even attachment styles, I had a friend who told me about that, and I'm like, wow, never heard of this before. Being fearful avoidant, or being dismissive, or being anxious attachment, and the goal is to be secured. So I feel like I'm a mix of all of them, but I just wanted to share, like, this is not easy. I think this is something, it has a therapeutic element to it, of course, but I've just even been like, my memory as a child was not, I don't have a lot of like memories, and so I was just asking Holy Spirit, help me to just write down memories, like good, bad, whatever. And so I just wrote down, even if it was a child in college, whatever, because I think I would just try to suppress a lot of my memories, and that's because I'm just like, okay, want to move on. And there's a reason for that. And so that's how I was a little sad to start the video, because I'm like, wow, like there are some good memories too that I just don't want to think about in different phases of my life because there were bad things that happened. So this is a start to something new, and I'm just really praying and hoping that the Lord continue to guide me through this process. And I think, in Hosea, it talks about, you know, the lack of knowledge. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. And I really think when it comes to the mental health side of things, the church is lacking. Like, we're just labeling everything a spirit, we're labeling everything a demon, which those things do exist. But what about the mental health side of it, so we can really get people the help they need? There's nothing like, do stop demonizing mental health. That is actually keeping people in bondage. It's keeping people in bondage. And, thankfully, I'm not on that trajectory anymore. But I'm just happy, but also sad and different. But, the Holy Spirit kept asking me, do you want to be healed? It's going to require some work on my part, some releasing, some trusting, And so that is the crux of why I'm doing this channel. I want to point people back to the Father, point people to actually heal. And so it is possible. I'm not there 100%. I'm not going to say, oh my God, like I read this article and everything's great. And, Jesus he's just so great, which he is. He's literally my everything. He's my life. And so he's showing me, like, I've been stubborn in a lot of areas that I'm not even giving to him. And so he's giving me some tools and framework, even though I can't be in therapy right this moment. So I hope this encourages someone. And y'all have a great day. God bless. Like and subscribe.